Here is a number that should genuinely stop you in your tracks. The average American senior leaves more than $500 in unclaimed discounts on the table every single year. Not because the savings don't exist, not because you haven't earned them, but because the stores offering these senior discounts will almost never tell you about them. The cashier won't bring it up. The website won't list it. There's no sign at the door, no flyer in your mailbox, no mention when you hand over your card. The discount simply sits there, unclaimed, every single time you shop, unless you know exactly where to look and exactly what to say. That is what this video is about. We've tracked down 21 stores that quietly hand out significant senior discounts, discounts ranging from 10% to 50% off, and we're going to walk through every single one of them. The exact qualifying ages, the exact days, the exact amounts, and in a few cases, some insider angles that nobody else in these videos ever covers. Whether you're 50, 60, or 75, whether you're shopping for groceries, clothes, home supplies, or even a night out at the movies, at least several of these stores apply directly to your life. And by the time we get to the end, I'm going to share one simple weekly strategy that ties a bunch of these discounts together into a single routine that can realistically save you $40 to $80 without changing much about how you already shop. This channel is dedicated to finding the deals, strategies, and everyday money moves that actually make a difference, and we share them in plain language. If that sounds useful, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Now, let's get into the list. Number 1. Kohl's. Let's start right here, because Kohl's is one of the best-kept secrets in American retail. If you are 60 years old or older, Kohl's gives you 15% off your entire purchase every single Wednesday. Not just one Wednesday a month, not just during certain seasons. Every Wednesday, all year long, just for being 60. The discount applies to clothing, shoes, accessories, and most home essentials, which is significant because Kohl's already runs some of the most aggressive sales cycles in the industry. Here is what most people miss. Kohl's is famous for two things: Kohl's cash promotions, and those $10 off when you spend $50 coupons. When you stack the 15% senior discount on top of an active Kohl's cash promotion, your total savings on a single visit can push past 30%. That's a meaningful chunk of money on a cart of clothing or home goods. The catch is that the discount is in-store only. You will need a valid photo ID to verify your age. It does not apply to gift cards, Sephora items inside Kohl's, or a handful of excluded brands. And this is critical. The cashier will not apply it unless you ask first. Say it before they start ringing you up: "I qualify for the Senior Wednesday discount." Those 8 words can save you 15%. Bridge. Keep watching, because the next store has a discount that's even bigger, and most of their own members have no idea it exists. Number 2. Walgreens. Walgreens runs one of the most generous senior savings programs in the country, and it is remarkably underused. If you are 55 or older and you're a member of their free My Walgreens Rewards program, you can save 20% off eligible regular priced items on the first Tuesday of every month. 20% off at a drugstore sounds modest until you think about what Walgreens actually sells. We're talking over-the-counter medications, vitamins, supplements, cleaning supplies, snacks, greeting cards, personal care items, beauty products. If you're already buying these things every month anyway, timing your stock-up trip to the first Tuesday can easily save you $15 to $25 in a single visit. What most people don't realize is that Walgreens often extends the online savings window for a full week after the in-store Seniors Day. That means if you can't make it to the store on that specific Tuesday, you can frequently still capture the discount through the Walgreens app or website for several more days. That's a detail even many pharmacy staff don't volunteer. AARP members can also layer additional partner discounts on top of Walgreens savings, pushing the effective total savings even higher on certain product categories. Prescription medications are excluded from the senior discount, but for everything else on the shelves, the first Tuesday of every month is your day. Bridge. You are going to want to write this next one down, especially if you or someone in your family is into crafts or decorating. And just so you know, around number 7, I'm going to share a thrift store deal that genuinely makes Walgreens 20% look modest. Number 3. CVS. Now here is one that most people completely miss, And the reason they miss it is because it lives entirely inside an app. CVS runs an Extra Care 65 Plus benefit tier that's specifically designed for older shoppers, but because it's digital first, a huge number of seniors who would qualify for it never activate it. Here's how it works. You need to be enrolled in the free Extra Care loyalty program first. Once you are, if you're 65 or older, you can go into the CVS app, find the Extra Care benefits section, and activate deals that are specifically assigned to the 65 Plus tier. These are not the same coupons everyone else sees. They are a separate layer of savings on health and wellness items, vitamins, personal care products, and select OTC medications. What most people don't know is that CVS sells over 9,000 individual health and wellness products. Even 10% consistent savings on a $60 monthly purchase adds up to $72 back over the course of a year. Do that consistently, and you're looking at real money. The pro tip here is simple but important. Download the CVS app, go to your Extra Care account, and look specifically for the 65 Plus tab. If you don't activate those deals, they don't apply automatically. The store won't tell you. The cashier won't mention it. It only works if you go looking for it. This is exactly the kind of discount that's hiding in plain sight. Bridge. From pharmacies to fashion bargains, let's keep moving. Number 4. Ross. Ross is already famous for slashing prices 20 to 60% below regular retail. And if you are 55 or older, there's a way to push those already low prices even further down. Ross runs what they call the Every Tuesday Club, giving shoppers 55 and up an additional 10% off on Tuesdays. Think about what that actually looks like on the floor. A sweater that normally retails for $60 is already marked down to $24 at Ross. Then you take another 10% off that, and you're paying just under $22 for a $60 sweater. Here's what most people don't know. The staff will not apply this discount automatically. There's no Tuesday banner, no senior checkout lane, no prompt at the register. You have to ask before they begin scanning your items. Just say, I qualify for the Tuesday senior discount. They'll verify your age once, apply it, and you're done. The pro tip is to arrive on Tuesday morning when the floor inventory is freshest. Ross doesn't hold items or restock on a schedule the way department stores do, so earlier in the week means better selection. Make Tuesday your Ross day, and that additional 10% becomes a reliable part of how you shop. Bridge. Now let's talk about a spot that's perfect if you've got a hobby or grandkids to shop for. Number 5. Michaels. If you have a craft hobby, if you buy seasonal decorations, or if you ever find yourself in the greeting card or frame aisle of a store, Michaels is a gold mine. Shoppers 55 and older who sign up for the free Michaels Rewards program get 10% off their purchases as a senior benefit. But here's the detail that separates Michaels from most other stores on this list. At the majority of retailers, senior discounts and sale prices don't mix. The store picks one or the other, and you get whichever is better. Michaels allows you to stack the senior discount on top of their already marked down sale items. That is unusual, and it's genuinely valuable. If you regularly buy yarn, fabric, paint, picture frames, scrapbooking supplies, or seasonal decor, you can realistically save $200 to $300 a year by taking full advantage of this stacking benefit. That's not a small number for a hobby budget. And for grandparents buying school project supplies or art kits for the grandkids, those savings compound quickly. The Michaels app also surfaces digital coupons you can activate before you shop, so pairing those with the senior discount and a sale weekend can make a single Michaels trip look almost too affordable. Bridge. Now let's get into the thrift store category, and if you've never thought about senior discounts at a thrift store, you're going to be very pleasantly surprised. Number 6. Goodwill. Yes, thrift stores give senior discounts. And when you are already finding shirts for $3 and lamps for $5, an extra 10 to 25% off feels almost surreal. Goodwill locations across the country run weekly senior discount days, typically on Tuesdays, with discounts ranging from 10 to 25% for shoppers 55 or 60 and older, depending on the region. Goodwill Southern California, for example, offers a flat 10% every Tuesday for shoppers 55 and older. Here's what you need to understand about Goodwill specifically. It is not one corporation. Goodwill is a network of independent regional nonprofits, which means your Goodwill and the Goodwill one county over may have completely different senior discount policies. Different days, different ages, different percentages. Some regions have senior discounts, some don't, and none of that information lives on a central website. The 30-second phone call is your best friend here. Call your nearest Goodwill and ask 2 questions directly. What is your senior discount day, and what age qualifies? That call can fundamentally change what your dollar does when you walk through the door. Bridge. And if you think Goodwill's discount is impressive, wait until you hear what the next thrift store chain does. Number 7. Savers. Savers, also operating as Value Village in many regions, is the thrift store chain that quietly runs one of the most generous senior discount rates in all of retail. Most locations offer 30% off for shoppers 55 and older on their designated senior discount day, which is typically Tuesday. 30% at a thrift store, where a coat might already be priced at $12. Here's a detail that most people don't know. Savers and Value Village are the same parent company, Savers Value Village Inc. So if you live near a Value Village rather than a Savers branded store, the same senior discount policy very likely applies. The branding is different, the ownership isn't. The math on this is straightforward and satisfying. 30% off a $10 item is $3. Do that across 20 items in a trip, and you've saved $60 at a store where everything was already cheap. For anyone furnishing a home, refreshing a wardrobe on a fixed income, or doing seasonal shopping, these savings are not trivial. Call ahead to confirm the senior day at your specific location, because participation does vary. But when it's available, Savers 30% is one of the most powerful discount rates you'll find anywhere in retail. Now we've been through the thrift stores, and we're moving into a different kind of shopping. The next several stops on this list are regional chains, national department stores, and in a few items coming up, some stores that will genuinely surprise you. Stick with me. Number 8. Bealls Outlet. Bealls is a chain with a particularly loyal following in the South and Southwest, Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, Texas, and Arizona. And their outlet stores offer something genuinely notable, 15% off every single Tuesday for shoppers. That 50 and older qualifying age is one of the lowest on this entire list. Most senior discount programs start at 55 or 60. Bealls starts at 50, which means a significantly larger group of shoppers qualifies and doesn't know it. Bealls Florida runs the same type of program under the branding 50 and Fabulous. Every Tuesday, 15% off for anyone 50 or better. There's no coupon to print, no code to enter, no loyalty card required. You walk in, show ID to confirm your age, and the discount applies to clothing, accessories, shoes, and home goods. That's it. If you're doing your shopping math at home, 15% off a $100 clothing purchase gives you $15 back on a single trip. Do that twice a month, and you're looking at $360 back over the year. Not bad for a 2-second conversation at the register. Bridge. The next one is a department store in the Southeast with a more layered system, and it's worth understanding how to use it. Number 9. Belk. Belk department stores operate primarily across the Southeast, and their senior discount program is more layered than most, which means more opportunity if you know how to work it. Seniors 55 and older can typically get 15% off most purchases on the first Tuesday of every month, which Belk calls Senior Day. But here is what sets Belk apart from a standard senior discount. If you have a Belk Rewards charge card, that discount can extend further on certain promotional days. And Belk regularly stacks additional limited-time promotions on top of Senior Day, sometimes combining senior, veteran, teacher, and military discounts all on the same date, pushing total savings to 20% or more. The move here is to check the Belk app in the week leading up to the first Tuesday of each month. If there's a stacking promotion running, you can plan a bigger purchase around that specific date and walk out with far more value than a standard shopping trip would give you. A $200 winter coat at 20% off is $40 in your pocket on a single transaction. Bridge. Let's shift from clothing to groceries, because seniors can save real money at the checkout line too. Number 10. Harris Teeter. Harris Teeter is one of the rare grocery chains still running a consistent, reliable senior discount, and they've built it around a program called Club 60. Every Thursday, shoppers who are 60 years old or older get 5% off their entire grocery bill. All you have to do is mention it at checkout. 5% sounds modest. Let's put it in context. If your weekly grocery bill averages $150 and you shop on Thursday every week, you're saving $7.50 per visit. Over 52 weeks, that's $390. That's nearly $400 back from one simple weekly habit, just saying I'm in Club 60 at the register. Now layer in the Harris Teeter Vic loyalty card. Their digital coupon program lets you load coupons directly onto your card before you shop. On a Thursday, with Club 60 active and digital coupons applied, your savings stack in ways that can push the effective discount on specific items well above 5%. Combine a manufacturer's coupon on something you already buy every week with the 5% club discount, and the math starts looking very good. This is also a good moment to say, if you found this video useful so far, go ahead and subscribe. We share tips like this regularly, and there's a lot more coming in the second half of this list. Bridge. Now let's move to the Midwest, where a regional grocery chain runs a discount so quietly that even loyal customers are surprised to find out it exists. Number 11. Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee is a grocery institution across the Midwest: Iowa, Illinois, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, Kansas, South Dakota, and Wisconsin, and it runs senior savings days at many of its locations. The frustrating part is that Hy-Vee almost never advertises this, even to its own customers. There's no sign at the front door. There's no banner on their website. The discount day, the qualifying age, and the percentage all vary depending on the individual store manager's choices. What most people don't know is that this variability actually works in your favor if you approach it the right way. Hy-Vee store managers have genuine discretion. Some run 5% off for shoppers 55 and older. Some run more. The only way to find out what your specific store offers is to walk up to the customer service desk and ask plainly, "Do you have a senior discount day, and what's the qualifying age?" Those two questions, asked directly to the right person, have unlocked savings for shoppers for years. If your weekly grocery bill is around $120 and your Hy-Vee offers just 5% off weekly, that is over $300 back per year. Bridge. Now here's where the list starts getting interesting, because we're moving into stores most senior discount videos never cover. One of them involves something you'd never expect. Number 12. Albertsons. Albertsons operates in 15 or more states across the western and southern United States, and many of their locations give shoppers 55 and older 10% off their entire grocery bill. 10% on your grocery bill once a month is one of the more generous recurring grocery discounts on this list. If you do a larger monthly stock-up trip on that day, a $200 run, that's $20 back. Over a year, that's $240 from a single monthly habit. Here's the angle most people miss. Albertsons Companies is also the parent corporation behind Safeway, Vons, Pavilions, Jewel Osco, Shaw's, and several other regional grocery brands. If you live near a Safeway or Vons rather than an Albertsons branded store, it is worth calling that specific location to ask whether they run a similar senior savings day. The programs are not universally identical, but given the shared corporate structure, some locations in the family do run comparable discounts. The key caveat: Albertsons has confirmed that the senior discount is only offered at select locations. Two Albertsons stores in the same city might have different policies. Call your specific store before you load up your cart for that big monthly trip. Bridge. Now this next one is for everyone who has a dog, a cat, or any pet that's part of the family. Number 13. PetSmart. PetSmart quietly offers a 10% senior discount on grooming services every Tuesday for customers 65 and older. The same 10% applies to overnight stays at Pets Hotel locations. This is the kind of deal that means real money for seniors whose pets are a central part of their daily life. Grooming costs have climbed significantly in recent years. A full-service grooming session for a medium to large dog that runs $80 to $100 drops to around $72 to $90. Not enormous on a single visit, but if you groom your dog once a month, that's $10 to $15 saved each time, up to $120 a year, just from booking on Tuesdays. The Pets Hotel math is even more interesting for travelers. An average Pets Hotel overnight runs $40 to $55 per night. If you board your dog during a 7-night trip, 10% off saves you $28 to $39 on that single stay. The discount does not apply to food, toys, or in-store merchandise, just grooming and boarding. But if those are services you use regularly, Tuesday appointments are the move. Now here is where things get really interesting. The next few stores are ones you will almost never see on these lists, and 2 of them involve categories that people spend a lot of money on. Don't go anywhere. Number 14. Ace Hardware. Here's one that requires a slightly different mindset because Ace Hardware does not have a corporate senior discount. And that is exactly why this works. Ace Hardware operates as a cooperative of independently owned franchise stores, meaning each location is owned by a local operator who sets their own policies, makes their own promotions, and critically has the personal authority to offer a discount on the spot if they choose to. Most senior discount videos skip Ace Hardware because there's nothing to look up on a corporate website. But that misses the entire point. Local franchise owners give discretionary discounts to loyal, repeat customers all the time, 10, sometimes 15%, but only to people who ask, not the cashier, the manager, or the owner. Here's the exact approach that works. Walk up to the counter, introduce yourself as a regular customer or neighbor, and ask, do you offer any kind of senior discount or loyalty savings for regular customers? That phrasing signals that you're a loyal patron, not someone looking for a one-time coupon. Local business owners respond to that very differently than they respond to a generic, do you have a senior discount at a chain store? Hardware purchases add up fast. A single repair or improvement supply run at $150 at 10% off saves you $15. Do that 6 times over a year, and you've saved $90 with a simple question that takes 10 seconds. And once the owner knows you, that courtesy often applies every time you come in. Bridge. Now let's tackle the big question. What about Home Depot and Lowe's? Number 15. Home Depot and Lowe's, the ARP workaround. Neither Home Depot nor Lowe's offers a traditional senior discount at the register. That's the answer most people get when they ask, and most people stop there. But there's a legitimate savings path for seniors at both stores that most shoppers completely miss. Both Home Depot and Lowe's participate in the AARP Member Advantages program. Through that portal, available at aarp.org/benefits, members can access exclusive pricing, special offers, and seasonal promotions at both retailers. These offers rotate quarterly, so it's worth checking the AARP benefits portal before any significant home improvement trip. Beyond that, both stores honor military and veteran discounts, typically 10% off, and if you or your spouse served in the military, that's the most direct savings path available at both chains. Here's why this matters on a dollar level. Home improvement is the single largest discretionary spending category for Americans 55 and older, averaging over $3,000 per year. Even a consistent 5% saving through AARP stacking and strategic purchase timing adds up to $150 annually. On a larger renovation project, one well-timed AARP offer can save significantly more. Log into aarp.org/benefits before your next big hardware run. The savings are there, they just require a 2-minute check beforehand instead of a question at the register. Bridge. Let's move from home improvement to high-end fashion. And yes, this one genuinely surprises people. Number 16. Banana Republic. This one surprises almost everyone who hears it. Banana Republic, the upscale clothing brand owned by Gap Inc., where a single blazer can run $200 or more, offers 10% off for shoppers 50 years old and older at participating locations. There are no in-store signs about this. There's no pop-up on their website, no mention in their email newsletter. You simply walk up to the register before they begin scanning your items, show a valid photo ID, and ask if the senior discount applies. Not every location participates, so a quick call ahead is worthwhile before you make the trip. Here's the angle most people don't consider. Gap Inc. also owns Gap, Old Navy, and Athleta. While Banana Republic is the clearest example of this benefit, it is worth asking at any Gap family brand store whether a similar senior discount applies at that specific location. Corporate policies on discretionary discounts vary by brand and sometimes by individual franchise agreement. The worst answer you can get is no. Ask anyway. 10% off a $200 blazer is $20 back in one transaction. If you update your wardrobe 2 or 3 times a year, that's $40 to $60 saved at a brand you wouldn't ordinarily associate with senior savings. Bridge. Now let's go back to the world of thrift, but bigger. Much bigger. Number 17. Salvation Army Thrift Stores. The Salvation Army runs one of the most dramatic senior discount structures of any thrift store chain in the country. Many locations offer between 15 and 50% off on designated senior discount days for shoppers 55 and older. Yes, 50% at a thrift store. Here's the nuance that makes this even more valuable. Many Salvation Army locations run rotating daily category discounts. One day is clothing, another day is furniture, another day is electronics or housewares, in addition to weekly designated sale days. When Senior Discount Day falls on a category that you actually need, the effective savings stack in an extraordinary way. The smart move here is to call your local Salvation Army and ask 2 specific questions. First, what is your Senior Discount Day? Second, what's the category rotation schedule this week? If Senior Day is Tuesday and furniture is rotating on Tuesday this week, and you've been looking for a dresser or bookshelf, you are walking into a situation where a $40 piece of furniture HT cost you $15. For anyone furnishing a home, staging a guest room, shopping for holiday gifts, or just hunting for something useful at a price that doesn't sting, calling ahead to cross-reference Senior Day with the weekly category rotation is a powerful and completely free strategy. Bridge. Let's keep moving. This next one is a classic American institution that most people overlook entirely. Number 18. Hallmark. Hallmark, the greeting card and gift store that has been a neighborhood staple for generations, offers 10% off one day a week at participating locations. The discount day and qualifying age vary by store, so calling ahead is the right first move. But here's why this one deserves a spot on the list even though it sounds small. Think about how many cards you actually send in a year. Birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, get well soons, sympathy cards, graduation cards. If you're sending cards for everyone in your family and your circle of friends, 50 to 75 cards per year is not unusual. At $4 to $7 per card, you're looking at $200 to $500 a year on greeting cards alone. 10% back on that is $20 to $50 without changing a single thing about what you buy. Hallmark also sells ornaments, wrapping paper, candles, stuffed animals, and gift items year-round, so the discount extends well beyond the card racks. Ask when you walk in, not after you've already picked everything out. It's faster and more consistent that way. Bridge. Here's the thing, we're about to get into 3 categories that nobody puts in these videos. And one of them can save a couple nearly $400 a year, doing something they already love. Number 19. Denny's and IHOP. 2 of the most senior frequented restaurant chains in America run senior savings programs that almost nobody talks about, and the combined savings over a year can be surprisingly significant. Denny's offers a 55-plus menu with lower-priced, appropriately portioned meals designed for older diners. IHOP runs location-based senior specials that vary by franchise. Here's the nuance that unlocks real savings. Because both chains are heavily franchised, individual restaurant managers often have the authority to run senior promotions not listed on any corporate website, particularly during off-peak morning hours when they want foot traffic. And here is a phrasing tip that actually matters. Asking, "Do you have a senior discount at these restaurants?" often gets a no. Asking specifically, "Do you have a 55-plus menu?" frequently gets a yes at the exact same location. The specific phrase triggers a specific menu, and the staff will know it immediately. Denny's 55-plus menu items typically run $2 to $4 less than their regular menu equivalents for the same dishes. If you're someone who eats breakfast out 3 times a week, that's a savings of $6 to $12 weekly. Over a year, that adds up to over $300 from asking a 4-word question before you order. Bridge. From restaurants to entertainment, because seniors spend real money at the movies, and most of them are paying full price for no reason. Number 20. AMC and Regal Cinemas. Movie theaters offer some of the most underused senior discounts in America. AMC typically prices senior tickets in the $7 to $9 range for viewers 60 and older, compared to standard adult pricing of $14 to $17 at most locations. Regal Cinemas runs a similar program. Here's what most people don't know. The senior rate almost never appears automatically when you buy online or through an app. The default checkout flow on AMC's website and app shows standard adult pricing. The senior discount is available, but only if you select it explicitly, and the option can be buried. The most reliable way to get senior pricing is to buy your tickets at the box office and ask for the senior rate directly. For a couple who goes to 2 movies a month, the math is meaningful. 2 senior tickets at $8 each versus 2 standard tickets at $15 each is $14 saved per outing. Over 12 months, that's $168 back for 2 people, just from buying tickets the right way. If you see more than 2 movies a month, multiply accordingly. Bridge. And for our final item on the list, let's close with a regional grocery chain that runs a Tuesday discount that almost nobody in their own loyalty program knows about. Number 21. Weis Markets. Weis Markets is a regional grocery chain operating across Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, New York, Virginia, and every Tuesday, Weis Club Rewards members get 10% off all Weis branded products across the entire store. While this is technically open to all rewards members and not a strictly age-gated senior discount, it's a perk that heavily benefits older shoppers who tend to shop on weekdays and who are often already enrolled in the loyalty program without realizing the Tuesday benefit exists. Here's what makes this quietly powerful. Weis branded products cover bread, milk, eggs, cereal, canned goods, frozen meals, paper towels. Store brands are already 10 to 20% cheaper than the name brand equivalent sitting right next to them on the shelf. Add the Tuesday 10% discount on top of that, and you are now paying 20 to 30% less than you would on name brands at full price. Sign up for the free Weis Club Rewards card. Shift your grocery list toward Weis branded products, where you can, and make Tuesday your shopping day. On a $200 weekly grocery run, that habit alone can take $20 off your bill. Over the course of a year, you're looking at over $1,000 in savings compared to buying name brands at full retail price. 21 stores. Before we close, I promised you a strategy that ties many of these together, and this one is genuinely something nobody mentions in these videos. Let's talk about it right now. The Senior Tuesday strategy. Look back through this list, and you'll notice something remarkable. At least 8 of the 21 stores we just covered run their senior discount specifically on Tuesdays. Walgreens, Ross, Goodwill, Savers, Bealls, PetSmart, Weis Markets, Michael's in many locations. 8 stores. 1 day. That is not a coincidence. Tuesday is the quietest shopping day of the week. Stores deliberately put their senior discount days on Tuesday to drive traffic during hours that would otherwise be slow. What that means for you is that if you are strategic about it, you can build what I call a Senior Tuesday route, a single weekly or bi-weekly outing that hits multiple stops in sequence and captures discounts at every single one of them. Imagine this. Tuesday morning, you start at Walgreens and stock up on vitamins, OTC medications, and cleaning supplies at 20% off on the first Tuesday. You continue to Ross and pick up whatever clothing or home items you need at an additional 10% off. You swing by Goodwill or Savers and do your thrift run at 20 to 30% off. If you have a dog, you booked your PetSmart grooming appointment for Tuesday. You close at Weis Markets for groceries with 10% off all store brand products. 1 route. 1 day. Discounts at every stop. If you're disciplined about this over a full year, combining just the Tuesday discounts from 4 of those 8 stores on a regular basis, you can realistically save. Across 52 weeks, that Tuesday habit is worth hundreds of dollars that you were leaving behind every single week before you knew about it. A few final tips before you go. The absolute most important thing to remember from everything in this video is this. Ask first. The number one reason seniors miss these discounts is the assumption that if a store offered a discount, there would be a sign. There won't be. There almost never is. Most cashiers are trained to apply senior discounts only when the customer asks, partly because they don't want to risk offending someone who doesn't identify as a senior yet. So the exact phrase you want to use, say this before they start scanning anything. Do you have a senior discount today? That's it. You are not being pushy. You are not being rude. You are asking for a benefit that the store has already decided to offer. The cashier will not bat an eye. Carry your photo ID and your AARP card everywhere. Many stores require age verification, and your AARP membership opens additional discount doors at thousands of retailers, restaurants, hotels, and service providers beyond everything we've covered today. The annual membership fee pays for itself quickly, and it includes a complimentary membership for your spouse. Learn to stack. On the right day, at the right store, you can combine a senior discount with a sale price, a digital coupon, a loyalty rewards credit, and a credit card cashback offer. Layer them in the right order, and your effective discount on a single item can reach 30 to 50%. And don't limit yourself to chains. Local hardware stores, independent pharmacies, family-run restaurants, hair salons, and dry cleaners. The owner of a local business has the freedom to make that call right at the counter, and they often will, for a regular customer they recognize. Senior discounts exist because businesses know that older Americans are loyal, consistent shoppers who come back week after week. Asking for a discount you have earned is not awkward. It is not begging. It is smart shopping, the same smart shopping you have been doing your whole life. Drop a $sign in the comments if you found at least one store in this list you didn't know about. I read every comment, and I'd love to know which one surprised you most. If you found this useful, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, because our next video covers a category most people don't think to ask about at all: the travel and hotel discounts hiding in plain sight that can save seniors hundreds of dollars every single trip. You'll want to catch that one. Until then, keep asking, keep stacking, and keep more of your money where it belongs, in your pocket.